Hey guys, welcome to AndroGuider. In this video we are going to have a brief overview of the AOKP ROM, and as you can see that this is a nightly build, and this ROM is based on Android Marshmallow 6.0.1, and it also packs in the June security patch. I'm not using any custom kernel at the moment, and the SE Linux status of the built-in kernel is enforcing by default, and the build date is 28th of June, as you can see. So as you can make out that from the quick settings panel itself that this ROM is based on CM13, and it packs in the stock launcher which we get in Cyanogen mod 2, that is Trebuchet. Again, I'm hoping that I'm getting the pronunciation right, but don't blame me if I'm getting it wrong. So we do have ample number of options in this launcher too. So at the top we have your home screen settings. You can show or hide the search bar if you want to. Then you have your icon labels, scroll wallpaper, then you can change the grid size, and you have options there too. I would show you my home screen too. This is the comfortable one, this is the cozy one, which is a bit denser, as you can see. And as we change the grid size from cozy to condensed, it would become a lot denser than what we have by default. The default is comfortable, or if you want to have your custom layout of your home screen, then you can customize that too. I would prefer to have the comfortable one, and then you can allow the rotation if you want to. Then you have your app drawer settings. You can show the icon labels if you want to. Then you have your draw style. The default one is compact, as you can see, in which the alphabet rows is present at the bottom, and your apps are not sorted by their alphabets, so you need to click on an alphabet in the bottom row to actually just see the app with by the name of its first letter. And in the sections one, your apps are sorted by their name, as you can see, and you again have that row in the bottom from which you can just pick any app. Say when I go to P, you can automatically just click on phone. That's the only app we have starting with P. So that's the only difference between the compact one and the section style app drawer layout. Then you can customize the drawer color. At the moment it is dark, and the dark background is nothing but it is transparent. It would show your live wallpaper or any wallpaper which you are using in the background, and the light one, and it would just, this is the background which you would be getting in light. I would prefer to have the dark one in. Then you can enable the fast scroller if you want to. You can choose a fast scroller type, horizontal or vertical. Then you can show the app search bar in the app drawer if you want to. In the bottom you have your app settings. You can if you want to use larger icons, then you can check this option in. And in the end you have your protected apps, which would help you to just lock out some apps, and then you will need to draw the pattern code to unlock them. And you do have this option in the privacy settings too. At the bottom you have your protected apps, so you can access it from there too. And so we do have let me show you the wallpapers which we have in the ROM. So these are the live wallpapers which we get in the ROM. Then the no wallpaper one, the no wallpaper is nothing but it would set a dark black background as the wallpaper. And then I don't think that we have any widgets which are specific to the ROM. And but you do get the power control widget, which would allow you to quickly toggle on and off your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, sync, and auto brightness. So just remove it. Okay, then so you do get audio effects. You have a browser, and then you have your Apollo music player too. You have screencast, and the ROM Control is the app which has the most which consists of all the features which are baked into the ROM. And then you also have a sound recorder, and as this ROM is based on CM13, we get the CM theme engine too. Okay, so First of all, I would like to cover the mGedit app. So from here you can view what the changes are going on in the Gedit of the AOKP ROM. So not just that, not just only AOKP, but you can view the Gedit of any ROM which you want to follow. You have your AOKP, AOSP, Carbon ROM, Cyanogen Mod, Gedit Review, Omni ROM, Pacman, Paranoid Android. So you can view the Gedit of anything, and if you want to enter the Gedit of say another ROM, say destruction remix, then you can just pull out that address from maybe any XGR thread and check that in here, and maybe write the name as destruction remix, and then use it to view what the changes have been, what the changes the destruction remix developers have been doing in their on their Gedit, which might be reflected in the next build of the ROM. So you have this review section here, which would cover up all the changes which have been going on, as I've previously mentioned. Then you have your you can see what has been merged, and maybe they would show the sources from where the things have been merged to, and then what has been abandoned, you can also check that out. You also have a search option in, then you have a view by project, refresh, preferences, then you can choose your theme, animate cards, so many options in here too. So it is I think that we have already encountered 3 force closes. So maybe they would be working on making this app better, but I would also report the same thing to in their Google Plus community too, for the AOKP developers to make a note. And I think that's all what we have in this. And then in the help you can see changes that are still being reviewed, merged, changes that have been merged, and abundant changes which have been abandoned by its owner or administrator. Okay, so that's all what we have in the mGedit app. And now getting into the ROM control. So if you want to have a look at the AOKP website, they Gedit, or join or chat with the developers and the other other ROM users, then you can join in their IRC node channel by clicking on the link in the by clicking at the clicking on the link in the bottom. Then the Kang links, from here you can view the people who have been working on making this ROM better, and of course thanks to the maintainers too, they are doing an awesome job in bringing this ROM to us. Then another general section, another general settings, you have your clock widget settings in here, and then you have your recent settings. If you want to show the search bar in the recents, then you can do that. Then recents in full screen, only show running apps, if you want to check that option in, you can do that. Then the clear all button, you can customize its location. Do you get all the entire 6 location set here? Then clear all task option, if you want to include the foreground task, then you can select this option. Or if you want to disable, if you don't want the app which you are using to be wiped out of the memory, then you should check this option off. Then you have your slim recents, and these are the options which you have in the slim recents. Then next up you have your wake lock blocker, and but guys, just make sure that you use it with precaution. Maybe I would recommend you to take a backup before playing around with these things. Then you have your lock screen settings. Next you can set the lock screen wallpaper, clear lock screen wallpaper. Clearing the lock screen wallpaper would set the lock screen wallpaper to the same wallpaper which is being used by a launcher would be your lock screen wallpaper. Then you do have your lock screen blur too, but just make a note that by enabling this option you would be compromising on your battery too. Then you have your quick unlock. Automatically you won't be asked to just swipe the screen. You would directly be guided to that pattern lock which you would have to enter, and then that is what quick unlock is. Then you have double tap to sleep on the lock screen notification count, and if you want to show the weather on the lock screen, then you can do that. Then you have your status bar customizations. You have your carrier label settings first up. So if you can customize the location of the carrier label here. Then if you want to enter custom carrier label, then you can do that. You can also customize the color. The carrier label text size. If you want to show the AOKP logo, then check this option in, and you can also change the color. Then you have your brightness control, show notification count, super user indicator, headset icon, double tap to sleep. Then you have your breathing notifications in the form of missed call and voicemail. Then under the status bar icons, you can just check in or check off any options, any icons which you don't want to show in your status bar. Then you have your battery settings here. You can choose the battery icon style, portrait, landscape, circle, text, or you can just hide it. Then you can show the battery percentage inside the icon or next to the icon, but as you can see at the moment my phone is charging, so the battery percentage is shown next to the icon. Then you have your battery bar location, top of status bar, top of navigation bar, or at the bottom of the navigation bar. Then you can customize the battery bar color. You can choose choose the alignment, regular or the center mirrored one, then the thickness, and in the end you have your charging animation in. Next up you have your clock settings. You can customize the location of the clock, right, center, left, or hidden, AM PM style, date styles, and you also have various date font style options. Normal one is the one in which the first letter would be uppercase followed by lowercase characters, and the lowercase and the uppercase ones are pretty clear by their name itself. Then you have various date formats. These are the ones which we have. Then you can customize the color of the clock and date. You have various font styles, normal, italics, bold, italics, and you can just have a look at them. These are the options which we have. Then you can also customize the font size too. Then you have your network traffic. If you want to show both the outgoing and the incoming traffic, then you can check in the last option, or if you want to show the either of the two, then you can check the respective options. Then you have your colors. You can customize the color of the status bar traffic monitor. Then you have your display unit, bits per second or bytes per second, update interval, and then you can also auto hide the network traffic in the status bar when there is no data exchange going on, and then you can hide the arrows if you want to. And in the end we have the inactivity threshold. Next up you have your notification draw settings. You can enable the quick pull down if you want to, smart pull down if you want to again. Then number of tiles per row, 3, 4, or 5. Then you can also show the weather. I guess we might be having these settings in the edit tiles option too. Okay, so guys, you can also access these notification drawer options which I am showing to you by just swiping to the right from the first quick toggles screen, or by click on the edit tile option and then swiping right till the time you get to this edit this settings menu. Then from here you can also show your weather, brightness slider, enlarge first row, try state location, reset to default layout. You also have these options in here too, and these are the quick setting tiles which are in there by default, and these are the ones which you can add. Okay, so then you also have your time contextual header in, and you can customize the header image shadow, quick settings, shade transparency, the header transparency. If you want to show the task manager in the extended status bar header area, then you can check this option in, and in the end you can customize the color of the clear all icon. I would set it to blue, and there you see it is set to blue. And this is your time contextual header. Then you have your hardware keys customization. You can if you have maybe a Samsung phone or a phone which comes in with a hardware keys with backlight, then you can customize the first option. And then you have your end call option. Press the power button twice to launch the camera, and then various hardware keys customizations: wake up device, answer the call, long press actions, double tap actions, short press actions. Then in the end you have your volume rocker settings, you have wake up device, playback control, you can control the ringtone volume, then you have your keyboard cursor control, then you can reorient the volume keys when your phone is changed from portrait to landscape. And then in the end we also have your auto keyboard rotation, force auto rotate when the keyboard is shown. This feature forces auto rotate to turn on temporarily when the keyboard is shown. It has no effect when auto rotate is already enabled. So if I guess you would have been able to understand what it is trying to say. So basically if your auto rotation mode is disabled and you check this option of auto keyboard rotation in, then your keyboard would be rotated when you would change from portrait to landscape. And when you're not using your keyboard, then obviously the auto rotation sensors would be disabled by default. Then you have your auto rotate timeout, the disable full screen keyboard. Landscape keyboard will never take up the entire screen, and then you can show the enter key, force show the enter key instead of the emoticons key. Okay, so I'm seeing this option for the first time in any ROM, so it's great to have that. And then you have your power menu settings. If I check all the options in, you have great number of options here too. Then this is how your power menu would look like. Then you have your navigation bar settings. From here you can, if you want to enable or disable the on-screen navigation bar, then you can do that from the first option. Then you have your left-handed mode, you can change the navigation bar height and width. In the you can change the height in both the portrait and the landscape mode, and then you can change the width too. Then you have your navigation bar tint. So I would just like to show it to you what navigation bar tint really is. So say if I set that to yellow, then this is what your navigation bar tint is. Then you have your double tap to sleep on the navigation bar, show arrow keys while typing. Then you have your slim dim. So as you can see that I'm not using navigation bar keys, and they have become dim, and when I touch back on any of the key, then they would wake up, or you can say their brightness would increase. And then by default this thing would only happen when the navigation bar icons would come back to life, or their brightness would increase, whatever you want to say it. This would only happen when you touch the navigation bar icons. But if you want it to happen when you touch any part of your screen, then you need to check in the listen for touches on the entire screen option. And as you can see that when I just checked in the option, the navigation bar keys automatically come to life. Then you have your timeout before dimming, your dim alpha, and your dim animation too. And you can also customize the duration of the animation. Then you have your rearrange. This is nothing but you can customize your these are the navigation bar buttons which we have by default: menu button, power button, notification button, torch, camera, screenshot, immersive mode. So these are the options which we get in by default, and then you can just maybe add an empty button and customize its settings. I'll just reset them back to default. Then you have your sound settings: camera shutter sound, screenshot sound, safe headset volume, less frequent notification sounds. And then you have your volume steps. Next up, you have the user interface. You can customize various animations from here. You have your list view animations, and these are the animations which we have. Then you have your scrolling cache. You can force enable, default disable, or force disable. Then you have your toast animations, and these are the ones which we have here. And then you can show hide your toast icon. Then you have your gesture anywhere here, and then the rest of the animations are here too. And these are the settings which we have for the animations, and they are the same for I believe almost everything. Yeah, so they are the same for each and every option, so I won't be covering all the options up here. Then you have your launcher settings there. you have your app circle bar. So if you want to do that, then I'll just show it to you quickly. So first of all, you need to select a trigger area from where you can just bring up the app circle bar, and maybe I would just adjust the height. The blue region is the one from where you can trigger the app circle bar. I'll just customize the height to 77%, and the trigger position is fine. Then I'll just quickly check in a few apps to show you how the app circle bar looks like. This is the app circle bar. I clicked on that trigger region and it pulled up all the apps, and the apps which you had checked in the selected apps option, and you can just quickly, they appear in the form of a circular arc from the edge of your screen, and then you can just quickly choose any one of them. Suppose say if I want to launch the clock option, then I would just touch that and it will automatically launch it. So that's all what we have in the ROM control. And then in the settings menu, we have already covered up ROM control. Then you have your sound settings. We have also covered that up. On the other sounds, you have dial pad tone, screen locking sounds, touch sounds, volume adjustment sounds, and your charging sounds too. We don't get anything else here. Then you have your display and lights, brightness level, adaptive brightness, live display, rotation settings, sleep timeout, wake on plug, cast, and you have your dashboard settings here. So if you want to your settings menu to be appear in the form of one or more columns, then you can do that from here. And then dashboard tile view tile, you can just customize that too. Then you have your LCD density here too. Next up, I have already told you that this ROM comes in with the CM theme engine, and on your lock screen settings, you have your screen lock type, live lock screen message, your shortcuts. You can customize the middle screen shortcuts from here, and then you can customize the bottom lock screen shortcuts from this option. And if you want to display the music visualizers, then you can check this option on or off as per your need. Then you have your battery settings. So you have the maximum percentage at which you can enable the battery saver is 15%. And then you have your security settings. So guys, as you can see that unknown source is not checked in by default, so you need to check that in to sideload any apps. Then you have your system profiles if you want to use that. Then you have your privacy settings. You do get privacy guard here, which would allow you to configure the permissions of various apps. And then you also have your blocked caller list here and protected apps, which was also accessible from the launcher too. And then in the end, we have developer options. So if you want to have advanced reboot in, then you need to check this option. Root access is enabled by default. If you want to restart the system UI, then you can do this from the developer options. So just make sure that you're checking the Android debugging option too. It is pretty useful when you are using Titanium backup to restore your apps, or if you run into any trouble while playing around with things, then you can use your PC or laptop to fix the things. But that is only possible if Android debugging is enabled. Then then you have your animation settings here, and in the bottom we have your multi-window mode too, and then at the bottom we have our kill app back button. So guys, that's all I think that I have for you guys in this video. I don't think that I have missed out on any feature. So I hope that you like the video. So if you like the video, just give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more videos from my channel, then hit on that subscribe button too. So thanks for watching guys, have a nice day.